Hey guys, it's Pat Largo with Comedians Uncorked Uncut, and thank you so much for joining us here. Another great episode of Two Fine Comedians, and this is all about a big show we have coming up in West Chase. It's called Comedy Nights at Wild Rover Brewing Company in West Chase, presented by Florida Firearms Academy. My name is Pat Largo, and I have with me from Philadelphia, who now lives in West Chase himself, Steve Netta. Thanks for joining me,
Hello.
Steve.
Thanks for having me, Pat.
And you betcha. And from Orlando. Just a fantastic guy, not just stand-up, but a fantastic guy in general, Ken Miller. Thanks for joining us, Ken.
What's up, brother?
This is great. Well, it's just great to see you guys. We'll be seeing each other live here soon in a few weeks at Wild Rover Brewing in West Chase. But I'm just glad we get to hang out together like this because I know we're all kind of getting back to busy again. So thanks for taking some time out. And
Of course.
I always like to ask people, especially over what happened in 2020, and you just speak up however you want to, whoever wants to go first. Just what's been going on in the last 12 months or so with you guys, just dealing with stuff and things like that. What's been happening?
After you, Ken.
I can't speak for Steve, but I've been back on the road. COVID stopped us in March, and then in August of last year, I was back on the road.
Uh-huh.
The Improv had opened up. I was one of the first comedians there, and I've seriously been booked and busy ever since then. I've started doing something different. Normally, I was doing a bunch of just clubs, but I started taking one-nighters, a bunch of bar shows and stuff like that, just to stay busy and to make extra money. So it's Florida, man. We shut down
Right.
for like 90 days, and
That's what I was telling him. I'm like, Florida's like, what's COVID?
Yeah.
We shut down for like 90 days, and then we were back open, even though we was at 50%, still going to a club that seats 100 people and 50 people get in. It's still a pretty damn good show.
Right. Plus, a lot of them, the one-nighters were a lot because bars and everything kind of were different than comedy clubs. You know what I mean? Like comedy clubs, they're handled a lot differently with staff-wise and their restrictions.
The amount of people in there, you go to a comedy club, you're looking at 350 people. At a bar show, 75. So you can get 45 people into a bar show, and it's still packed. But you do half of a comedy club, it's a different look. So the bar shows are actually doing well, man. Like people were jumping on them, jumping on doing these bar shows, and they were doing well. They paid decent. The crowds were great. So I was just happy to get back in, man. I was rusty, bro. I did a comedy club, and somebody who follows me came to one of the shows, and I did my set. And after the set, he came to me and says, "Hey, man, you didn't do this joke, that joke, this joke." I said, "Bro, I ain't been on stage in like 4 or 5 months. Forgive me, bro."
Yeah.
And then he came to the show the next day, bro, and was sitting there. And if I skipped a joke, he was like, "Bag of flour." I say, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I would go into the joke. So
you were like doing a third grade. You were doing a third grade play with that line. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's funny.
But that's a thing too. Is I guess people have this image of comedians that like when we're not on stage, we're practicing. Do you know what I mean? It's not like like you said, we were off for 4 months. It's not like we sat around every night going, "Hi, welcome to my living room."
Yeah, right.
Entertaining the kids and everything. We were we do normal things.
Well,
and that.
Speaking of that, have any one of you guys? Because I haven't. Did any of you guys do any of those like viral or Zoom shows at all?
No.
Yeah,
I did one, and it was terrible. And then I also had another offer from a big comic. Was like, "Hey, just sit in your living room and just say some funny stuff, and I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel." And I was like, "All right," and I didn't do that.
Was that Dat fan?
No, nephew Tommy from Steve Harvey's nephew.
Yeah,
he was like, "Yeah, man, he was doing this here, and it worked." And I watched some of them; they were good.
Yeah,
it just wasn't something I felt like I would be good at.
And that's the thing, as Ken knows, there are things that we can tell comedy-wise whether we're right for it. You're a bad comic if you take it and it's just not going to go well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Especially if it's comics nowadays. It's like, well, I really need the money. I said, but you'll go there and bomb and do terrible for $50. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm like, if you're that hard off, then you probably need to go get your part-time job. That if you would take a gig that you know you're gonna bomb at just because you need 25 or $50, then you need to go to work.
Well, that's what we say
Yeah.
to bookers too. You want to pay me $25 and instead of 50. If you can't afford $25, this may not be your business.
Yeah,
You may need to.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
go ahead.
And,
I heard
no,
you. Pat.
and it's the whole idea of just doing the whole Zoom thing where I asked some friends of mine that we all know, people that we know, and I said, how was it? And they go, it was good, I think, because I really couldn't get, it was almost like, it's like doing radio.
You don't have instant feedback.
Yeah,
like
you're
a
doing
club.
the punchlines, and you're just hoping someone's laughing. I guess I don't know how that works. So it just sounded like it was just like a mind screw there a little bit.
For open micers, it's better because they think everything they do is funny anyway.
Yeah,
They always. My saying is this: anytime I see a comedian post, man, the show last night was fun. That usually mean they bombed. That's always the bomb. Man, how was the room? It's fun. No, bro, you probably had a bad set.
And Ken, yeah, our first show last year, Ken, because my last show was March 6th of last year at Union Hall in Lakeland, and I didn't do anything until you and me did Snappers. I want to say maybe in August or September of last year.
Yep. It was like August or September last year.
Yeah, and we both looked at each other, and you were like, "Are you nervous?" I said, "Yeah, I'm nervous," and you said, "Yes, I'm a little nervous," but we had a great time. It was a fun room.
Yeah,
We didn't bomb.
that was the show. That was the show. The guy was after the show was like, "Hey, you didn't do this joke, that joke, this joke." I'm like, bro, I hadn't headlined in months. You know what I mean? So this was like my first time headlining in months, and it was probably 2 or 3 months after that I remembered my set.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like 2 or 3 months after that. I was like, okay, I remember it now.
Yeah, it's like being an athlete. Well, what we do is an athletic, but you have muscle memory when you tell jokes and when you do things in the rhythm of your show. And of course, you can go off script and do whatever you want. But if you don't do it even for a month, we knew that when we were, when you're working every weekend, if you take 3 weeks off, when you come back, you're like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Did I forget something? You know what I mean? You're very rusty, even in that short of a time frame.
Yeah, put the training wheels back on. So
right.
Well,
it's really weird.
No, you're right. People like I know people up in New York, Jersey, our friends out west in California and stuff like that. They're still like barely scratching the surface now. But like we were saying, man, I'm so happy. That's one thing about this. Like, shit, our governor's he doesn't care if you got COVID. He made the cruise lines go, if you're leaving out of our ports, you're going to put them on your boat, and they're going to have a good time whether it kills them or not. I don't know what kind of mafia meeting he had with the cruise lines, but he got it done. I mean, our clubs, like you said, have been open. The bars have been open. That's why I'm happy to be here in Florida. We just get to keep going and just keep making it happen. And that's why I'm so glad to have you guys finally at Wild Rover for Comedians Uncorked, and also brought to you by my friend Catherine McGuire with Vocal for Media. This on July 17th is going to be fun. Now, Steve, I know you live pretty close to the venue.
Yes. It's funny. I've had neighbors and friends and all that going, man, they're doing comedy over at that British place over. I'm like, yes, I know. I said, you can see me there July 17th, but it's just funny. They're like, no, I didn't know there was comedy right down the street from me.
Right down the street. And we've been doing it there. And I'm telling you, man, Mike Murillo does a show. I do a show. We backed off to 1 per month for the summertime. Hopefully kick it back up again in the fall. Ken, I know you got to come down I-4, man. So, and I know how we all feel about driving on I-4, but you're gonna love this venue. It is UK because Derek, the owner, is from England, but it's also a little bit of American fare, but mostly that UK feel. But it's restaurant, it's pub, and then when you walk through the doors into like the showroom, entertainment room, Ken, it's this big, gigantic building with a gorgeous stage. They have beers and liquor on tap. So we may have to get you a room that night because it's going to be a party.
I'm older now, bro. I don't get that lit like I used to, yo.
I've actually eaten there. I took the kids over to watch a soccer game, and we had breakfast. We went over. I think it was like at 11 or noon. It was a big game. Manchester United and Manchester City, and we went over and had breakfast and all that. It was really good food, really good.
Insane food, and he opens up at 7 in the morning for some of those those
he
football
does.
matches, man. It's
because
incredible.
they're 5 hours ahead.
They're 5 hours ahead. They were just featured on our local Fox 13 a couple weeks ago. I mean, just showcasing the whole place. But here's the deal we got going on, though. It's going to be I get to host this cool event. You guys are going to be there. Stephen Henry from Tampa is going to do a few minutes. He's going to guest set for us.
I know Stephen.
Yeah, great. And he can't wait to hang out with you guys again. We were talking about that a couple of days ago. I also want to let people know, and when we do the flyer a little bit later, in fact, I'm going to share it up real quick right now. This right here, when you guys can actually, like Steve, use your neighbor to when he wants to get tickets, or Ken, when they go to vocalformedia.com to get tickets, they can just punch in your guys' name for a $3 discount.
Oh, cool.
Which is pretty cool. So just punch in Steve or type in Ken. You get $3 off tickets. But this is the whole thing, man. So this is going to be so much fun. And we're doing the whole raffles and drawings. We have a great featured charity, which is Canine Heroes. So they bring in like 1 or 2 of the canines. And this is for trained dogs, for first responders and the military. So it's just a really, really fun event. So I'm glad you guys can be here for it, for comedy nights at Wild Rover Brewing. In the meantime, man, last one, Ken, real quick, how is the Orlando scene doing? Because people here in Tampa keep asking me, and I'm like, I haven't lived in Altamont Springs since like 2000. So
I'm biased. I'm super biased, man, but I really think Orlando has the best comedy scene in Florida, and it has for years. I tell people all the time, I think Orlando, Florida is the San Antonio Spurs of comedy. We are a small market, but we will bust your ass if you want to come get some of this work. It is some funny young men and young women here. Even when you go to just the comedy portion, if you go to the social media, man, we got so many TikTok stars here, Instagram guys, and they're just great young comics. And I'm so happy that I got that. And I'm throwing the quotation marks up, the Godfather title, because I just love mentoring these comics. I'm meeting with a comic in about an hour, man. We're going to go get something to eat. And he was like, hey, can I pay you for your time? And I was like, no, man, let's just have a drink, have something to eat. And I tell you whatever you want to know about comedy. Steve, you know, man, we OGs in comedy. And we just want to see you guys, you younger comics, if you watch this or listen to this, I just want you to be great. And I want to know that I had a hand in your upbringing and you becoming a great comic. I've never had any animosity towards anybody. I've never had any hate towards anybody. And when it comes to comedy, if you're from the state of Florida, and especially Orlando, you will leave here. If you go somewhere, you come under my tutelage, I'm going to make sure you're one of the best comedians in the United States. Now, if you do bomb, you from Georgia.
If you do bomb, you're under the tutelage of Miguel Colon.
Yeah, Miguel Colon. Yeah, 100% Miguel Colon.
So, Ken, since you're saying Orlando's best, does that mean we're starting another war on I-4?
Hey, man, the Improv, we're back. We're back to our off nights. I would love to do one. So if you want to get 4 comics together from Tampa, bring them on down so we can whoop their ass.
I'm taking it off right here.
Do we want to crush you so early? Nah, they.
Do you allow guns? Do you allow guns at your show, Ken?
Man, put your damn shirt on.
I'm ready.
This is not that kind of Zoom. It's funny. I started when I moved to Florida. I started in Orlando. So I know a lot of the comics there and all that. They're great comics. You know, like you said, with letting people on the show. Remember, Preacher used to come to shows. They'd be like, hey, man, can I do some time? I'm like, sure. You know what I mean? Ken and I are of that school of, I don't care. You know what I mean? Just, you're funny.
Right.
So
you're funny, and that's it.
Yeah.
So Steve, you started here in what year?
2003.
Okay, because I started in 2005, so that means you came up under the big dogs. Yeah. That means you was under Ian and Ricky Reyes and Pat Garrity and Dean and Mike Allen and Trace Croswell and Pedro Lima and
every one of them. Billy Gardell was
Billy
just
Gardell, Arnie Ellis. Oh my bro, let me tell you something, man.
Was Danny? Well, Danny Whitney was he was already up and running as Larry way back.
He was already we're talking. This is the thing, Pat. We had some of the best headliners in the United States of America right here in Orlando. And I thank God for putting me. Dude, when I moved to Florida, I lived 3 blocks from the Why Not Lounge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was
you
3
do,
blocks from that comedy club. So for the fact that I got put in a situation, because I could have went anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got out of the military. I came here, and I was under the tutelage of some of the and most of them are doing comedy anymore. I think Garrity is the only one that's really left doing comedy out of all of them, like really doing
isn't
it.
Ricky still doing it?
If he is, brother, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I haven't
talked
seen
to him
Ricky in
forever,
3 years, man. But Pat, what I took bits and pieces of those guys, man, and you know, the James Johns, Type Mike, Sean Banks, like all those guys I've named, bro. Like I took what they taught me and I put it into how I now groom young comics. Now, has the game changed? It's changed, you know, with internet and TikTok and Instagram. I don't know shit about that, but I do know stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? I do. I can teach you that. I can't teach you how to post a TikTok. You got to learn that shit on your own.
Well,
but if it come to comedy, man, I love being a mentor and I love teaching these kids. But that's because I came under some guys that taught me.
Right. When I first started, that was a thing too. That's how, you know, you would take comics on. He would, you know, this one particular comedian up in Philadelphia was like, hey, man, why don't you open for me? I'm like, you know, maybe I got 20 minutes. He's like, that's fine. Just go. I'll get you in with the club. Then you book everything for yourself after that. And that's what we do here. You know, I mean, I got many people in with clubs here in Florida just by bringing them as my feature act or telling them who to contact, even to get MC jobs, you know, and that's just how we were brought up then. It wasn't a competition. It was
never a competition.
It was, let's be funny. That's
it was never a competition because it's so much work out there.
Yeah.
I can't work all 52 weeks. Somebody got to work the club next week. You know what I mean? Right. So that's why I let comics know. I said, you're not in competition with each other, man. Matter of fact, like Steve said, 99% of the clubs I work now, another comedian got me in that club. I didn't get it on. Dude, you can send as many tapes and videos to these clubs as you want. A phone call or an email from a headliner that works that club to get you in there quicker. It's that simple. So when I see comedians on Facebook and they like, well, so-and-so don't like me. They don't love me in this city. Don't nobody take me on the road. Well, they probably don't take you on the road because you're an asshole. Or the fact you just want, or you're not funny, or you just want to sit and listen and understand. Bro, I'm 16 years in the game. And I meet a lot of young comics, man. And sorry if I'm babbling. I just love talking comedy, man.
Me too.
That's what we're here for.
I meet a lot of young comics, and a lot of them within 3 or 4 months are like, well, why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing that? And I said, bro, you've been doing comedy 4 months. You're not going to be featuring. Florida is the only state, especially Orlando, where you'll be 6 months in to be hosting somewhere. That's not happening in New York and LA, Atlanta. Right. It's not happening anywhere. So I tell these comics, man, if you just be patient and let the game go, I said, before you blink and open your eyes, you'll be at 10 years. You'll be headlining clubs, and you'll be like, damn, I felt like just yesterday, dude, I'm 16 years in, I swear to you, I feel like yesterday I was just getting on stage at Why Not Lounge with a yellow shirt on, some khaki pants. I was coming from work with my work badge on my side. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I think a lot of comedians, because of the way the internet works, and it's such a, it's quick, you know, TikTok, and then you got 10 million following instant. It's not like that with comedy. Now, some comedians do blow up on TikTok and Instagram, and then they start working the clubs. But how good a quality is that act compared to the comedians that's really been grinding open mic and stuff?
Exactly, because that the online stuff, in my opinion, is like it's like a competition where you bring your friends and they're going to vote for you. So yeah, you'll get those 5,000 likes or views, right? But then when you put them in the club on a Thursday or Saturday or Friday night, and they get 1 or 2 shows, and they either that's their whole entire act, or it just doesn't go well, then you know they're probably not coming around again, because that's TikTok. Anytime I hear internet star or a YouTube star, that's what makes me cringe. Because when I got into radio,
and now Pat, I'm different from that. Because I have seen some of these internet, TikTok, Instagram stars, Facebook stars actually become really good comics. I've seen it. And I don't cringe about it because I don't want to be the get off my lawn guy. Because I know a lot of us older comics are, well, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? And at the end of the day, and Steve, you can attest to this, it's a business. Yeah. If that TikTok guy can do Comedians Uncorked and sell 500 tickets and he terrible, you just sold 500
tickets, whether he's terrible or not.
The club don't give a damn if they funny or not. Now, I have seen it to where an Instagram TikTok guy has come in, not been that good, but sold well. We brought him back the next year and 10 times better comic because a lot of them aren't comedians and they're doing the clubs because the club's like, look, you can send me $30 tickets on 300 tickets, $9,000. And I mean $900 or $1,000, how much? I'm terrible at math, and I'm gonna give you 75% of that, and we keep 25%, or I'm gonna give you 50%, and we're gonna keep that. Right. They're gonna eat like crazy, whatever. No matter the show bad, they're gonna bring that comedian back. And most of the comedians I have seen that have got famous off of Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, that next time they came back, they were way better comics. They were way better.
Well, they learned the art of comedy. This is almost like their way to get in the door. And that's the thing, I'm the same way, Ken. I like the newer stuff. Trust me, if TikTok, all this stuff was around when I first started, the energy that I had and all
like that. I'd be
exactly.
Like that.
I'd be doing the floss 20 times. But that's what I mean is that was the energy that I had, and the abstractness of the comedy was almost like short little sketches that I would write in my head that I then had to translate into jokes.
In the jokes, that was our TikTok, the sketches we wrote in our head that we said, well, how can I stretch this out to 3 minutes to 5 minutes to 7 minutes to 10 minutes?
And describe it all.
We have to act it out, set the tone. So I have mad love for these youngsters that are out here making it on the internet, man. I think it's dope, and I think it's great for comedy because I've opened for some of them. And let me tell you something, man. I've walked off, and following is what it is now. I've opened for an internet guy, and I got off stage, and it was 350 people in the room, and I got 300 followers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
sure.
So I'm not. I don't want to be the old curmudgeon and be like, because I know some old curmudgeon comedians that hate these guys.
I want. What my point is coming from this.
Hold up, time out. Did you put your damn shirt back on?
No.
Nope.
This dude.
my interview.
But what if I take mine off? Then Ken, you'll be the only one that's different.
Yeah, hey, then y'all gonna have y'all. I got titties. I ain't taking my shirt off.
Oh man, I love dark skin and big tits. This is great.
This is white people stuff, by the way.
No, and I totally know what you guys are saying, and I'm not again like poo-pooing the whole thing. It's just that with everything, literally anyone can do anything at any given second and get likes and views and everything. You're right. God bless them. Now, you're right. I have seen funny TikTok people, other people doing their YouTube videos, and they are doing comedy around, and I want to see them succeed. Totally. And yes, I would book someone like that. Female, male, gay, straight, trans. I don't care what you are. Sell tickets and be funny. We're down.
And that's all it's about.
Right.
That's all it's about.
That's all it's about. If you can sell some tickets, man, and I get it. I get it because a lot of times, comedians get upset. Because these guys are coming in and selling, and they're like, well, why can't I get a night? I said, because you can't sell tickets. Cubs getting tired of papering the rooms.
And they also didn't follow the same track that we did. Open mic, get a guest spot, MC, feature, headline. They didn't come in that door. They came over here and went, I cut in front of you. So a lot of people.
Hey, Steve, I never thought it like that. Yeah, man, I cut the line.
Yeah.
Man, you can't get in front of me now, man. Look, man, I'm in front of you. Look at all these followers I bring to the table. So then, as an older comic, I have to be like, well, shit, what can I do? And I have to learn how to adjust.
Yep.
Or if you ain't gonna adjust, come friends with their ass and be like, well, when you going on the road?
They're like the Elon Musk. They're like the Elon Musk of comedy now. If they like you, all of a sudden you have 10,000 followers from their million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm driving my Corolla into space, bro.
And you're right though, because I'm learning now how to pair off with like Instagram people now. I'm learning finally that genre of to pair up, you know, to maybe get a room for more comedy. And a buddy of mine told me that. So he said, hey, try to get with someone who has a lot of followers, especially Instagram, like they may have a restaurant or a venue like that, and then you get in there to do comedy, and you give them, you know, just a little bit, you know, a love
of time, and they pro it.
And I go, oh, okay. So, and he was about my age. You guys know Alex Soto.
Yeah. Alex Soto run the one nighter game in Orlando. Ain't nobody got that motherfucker got 7,000 one nighters. I didn't even know it was that many bars and restaurants in the city.
They're not. It's all a fake storefront. It's all bullshit. But he knows what he's doing. No, Alex Soto, shout out to him, because that guy is one of the hardest working venue dudes in your Ocala, Orlando, Bellevue area. I mean,
100%, man, 100%.
But again, guys, listen. I know we could seriously. I want to have you guys on sometime when we have more time, because, like you said, Ken, we're not rambling. It's talking comedy, and I could talk.
I love talking comedy.
Me
bro.
too. I could. And that's the thing is, sometimes I talk to these new guys, and Ken's the same way too. We can look at somebody and go, "Okay, you can be a comic," and then you look at some people and you don't, but you want to walk up and say, "Nah."
Yeah. Hey, dude. I bring this up, and I know we got to run. It was a comic who came to the other bar. This was years ago, and I'm not going. So the comic didn't do well. The comic had been doing comedy 6 months. Didn't do well. I walked up to the comic, says, "Hey, how long you been doing this?" The comic said 6 months. I says, "Hey, cool. Don't worry about it. You got plenty of time to get better." I said, "You're 6 months in." I said, "Man, just keep working on it. Open mic, writing." I said, "You got this." That comic went and told another comedian. Ken Miller said, "Quit." Ken Miller, he's such an asshole. Ken Miller and was crying. And people know me. I would never say that. No lie. 2 years later, I see that same comic at the Improv, murder. I pulled that comic to the side and I said, and this is what I was talking about. Right. Just take your time. The comic was like, but the way you talked to me, it was so hurtful. I said, it wasn't hurtful. It's just who I am. I look here, man.
It's honest.
It's honest. If you get a Netflix special or you get a movie and they start talking shit about your movie, you can't cry. Guess what? You go make a better movie. Yeah. You go get a better Netflix. I said, that's all. I said, man, life. I said, I know you young kids want us to give you trophies all the time, but I'm not from that era. I'm going to tell you how if the show was shitty, hey, look, it was a bad show, but let me show you how to make it better. And ever since then, that comic, funny as hell.
I remember reading a story from the guy who did Roger Rabbit's voice, Charlie Fleischer. He said, they say, you know, what advice do you have for comedians? He's like, I tell everyone to quit. And he goes, well, why would you do that? He goes, because if they really want to do it, they won't quit. They'll get pissed and they'll get better than me.
Oh, right on.
Which is what you do. You know, you tell them, quit, light a fire under their ass. Yeah. You're a head coach, basically.
Yeah. I don't like psychological people like that. I'm too emotional.
Yeah. Yeah, we could tell you got naked in front of two dudes. So we get it.
This is how I go into shows. I go, I'm funny or not, I'm doing it.
Well, listen, they're not laughing at your jokes.
We could talk, and that's a whole other thing. Cancel culture, dude. We could talk 2 hours about that.
Oh, yeah.
But I look forward to talking to you guys more.
Yep.
While I close up here, I'm going to share our flyer one more time. This is going down, folks, and we probably are almost sold out at this point. It's comedy nights. We're at Wild Rover Brewing in West Chase with my Comedians Uncorked show and Vocal for Media. Big up to Kathy McGuire. Go to vocalformedia.com for tickets. If you want $3 off, just either type in Steve or Ken or even my name, P-A-T, Pat. If you type in one of those names, guess what? You get $3 off your tickets. The show time, it's 8 o'clock show. We got some music ahead of time. Kathy McGuire, she is America's Got Talent. This chick sings her butt off. So she's going to do some songs before and after the show. Raffles. I'm going to give away some new Comedians Uncorked shirts I just got. And guys, I love you guys, man. And I can't wait to see you guys.
Love you too, brother.
Do your thing. I'll be safe, and we'll see you guys July 17th, okay?
Cool. Steve, enjoy your vacation, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Love you, man.
All right, take it easy, man. Love you too, brother.
Yep.
Bet. In the meantime, thanks, guys, for hanging out with Comedians Uncorked Uncut and supporting ComediansUncorked.com. My name is Pat Largo. Laugh, you deserve it.